As the apocalypse begins, stars will fall to Earth. The stars refer to planets. Now, we've already noted two stars that will fall, Wormwood and Apollyon. Both stars refer to one planet, Mars. Mars will not be alone in its close approach to Earth. There will be other stars joining it. The prophecies always use stars in the plural. These planets are returning planets, meaning they were once close to Earth and are returning to their previous positions in the heavens. The Lord calls them Untimely Figs. At the Crucifixion event, which opened the sixth seal, the planets of the polar configuration fell towards Earth and then departed. The configuration broke up and the planets eventually took up their present positions in the solar system. At the second coming, the process will reverse. The planets of the polar configuration will return to Earth and the configuration will be reconstituted. The fig tree, a version of the world tree, will return as the tree of life. In 1841, Apostle Parley P. Pratt, at the time the editor of the Millennial Star, was asked to explain how stars can fall to Earth, since they were much bigger than our planet. Elder Pratt published the question posed by Joseph Fielding and his answer in the Star. Joseph Fielding's question makes the common assumption that the stars refer to the luminous bodies seen in the nighttime sky. If this were the case, their size would make it impossible to fall to Earth. Their heat and light would cause even more problems. Elder Pratt explained that these stars were fragments of Earth, divided from our planet in earlier times. Elder Pratt continues, pointing out that some of these so-called fragments will be larger than our present Earth. Elder Pratt likely learned his interpretation of the scriptures from Joseph Smith, who had taught the same thing a year earlier. For these explanations to make sense, we must first understand that the ancient Earth was a congregation of planets. The planet we now call Earth was just one part of the ancient Earth. This explains Joseph's statement that the Earth was a tremendous big thing and Parley Pratt's claim that some of the fragments were vastly larger than the present Earth. A fragment was a planet, not a piece of our Earth. The fragment we now call Jupiter is substantially larger than Earth. The Lord has divided the congregation of planets several times, once at the time of Peleg and other times as well. Dividing the Earth simply means separating one or more of its constituent parts, planets, and sending them away from Earth. So, for example, when the Earth was divided for the 10 tribes, this means that the planet upon which the 10 tribes were living was separated from our present Earth and sent into space. The story of the apocalypse is the return of these planets and the restoration of ancient Earth to its primeval configuration. When the fragments return, they will re-establish the polar configuration. As Isaiah and Micah put it, the ancient heavenly temple will return to the top of the world mountain. John's revelation describes the return of 3 planets, Mars, Venus, and Saturn. The first to return will be Mars, which John calls Abaddon and Apollyon. With Mars' presence over the Earth, the pillar or mountain between the 2 planets will be restored. It will be a fiery blood red. The second planetary fragment to return will be Venus. It will appear as the Queen of Heaven. Thirdly, and lastly, the planet Saturn appears, described as the heavenly city, the New Jerusalem.